Do you think somewhere last night Tim Duncan and maybe some other members of the Spurs had to be watching the Clippers game against Houston and they watched that epic fourth quarter collapse by LA and they had to be thinking to themselves, how did we lose to these guys? I mean, that had to be one of the all time greatest choke jobs ever in the NBA playoffs. You're playing at home, you get outscored 40-15 in the fourth quarter in a closeout situation. Oh my God. And afterwards, what was Doc Rivers supposed to do other than shrug his shoulders and say, hey, it was one of those things? I mean, what do you possibly say to your team to get them back in the right frame of mind, mentally and emotionally, to be prepared for game number 7, knowing you got to go back to Houston now when you got outscored 40-15 in the fourth quarter? I don't know. I don't know what little magic potion Doc Rivers is going to have, what type of Vince Lombardi-ish type of speech he's going to give, but he better come up with something because you got to think that the Clippers have a bunch of pretty shattered egos and fragile psyches right now after that collapse last night. And then how about the Chicago Bulls? I mean, is it fair to say now that the Bulls actually regressed this season? I mean, think about the playoff runs and how strong they played the past couple of years when Derrick Rose was always out. Such a tough defensive team. Yet this year, you added Gasol. Okay, defensive liability, but you can count on him for 18 and 10 a game, right? You saw the emergence of Jimmy Butler as a bona fide scorer. You saw Derrick Rose return, get injured, return, get injured, return. You know the deal there, okay? But did Tom Thibodeau's message just get shut out? Did the players stop listening? I mean, there's been a lot of rumors that Thibodeau was going to be done after the season in Chicago anyway. Really, it might be time to make a change there because obviously the Bulls didn't respond and they blew a golden opportunity. Hey, listen, they had to take the first 2 games in Cleveland. You had Kevin Love out, you had J.R. Smith out, but you didn't even compete in game number 2 because LeBron plowed you over. And then you still had other opportunities in the series and you just frittered away the chances, and then you ultimately were eliminated in 6 games at home. Hi, everyone. Al DeMarco here. This, of course, is going to be your Friday video report. I have won 11 of my last 17 complimentary plays in the NBA, and I'm going to take a look at the Wizards-Hawks game. Whew, there's a tough series to figure out. Plus, the Twins and the Rays in baseball, those free plays are coming up in just a moment. I hope you have been making money in the postseason this week with Gabriel Dupont as I continue to prove to you that you don't have to spend big money to make big money by taking the hottest handicapper here at the site and continually putting his plays on huge discounts. Today, once more, half price play of the day. Winning day number 19 out of 25. 80-dime winner number 5 in a row. The Hawks Wizards side, just as strong as his 80-dime winner last night on the Cavaliers. Just as equally matched in terms of the discount you're going to get as his 100-dimer on Wednesday on the Warriors. Both of those major wager releases you got at half price. Same thing goes today. Half price play of the day. Another one from Gabriel Dupont. Simply use coupon code HALF, H-A-L-F. He has made $10 bettors in all sports combined over $19,000 since Thanksgiving. Meanwhile, Brad Wilton, who's been so deadly with those 50-dime plays here with all those total releases he's cashed over the past month for you today, upping the ante, his 100-dime second round playoff game of the year, highest play of the season. Golden State and Memphis decide. He's won 12 out of 16 50-dime playoff picks, 12 out of 16 in the postseason. This play is twice as strong. Hit his first round 100-dime play. Remember that one? Hawks over Brooklyn in game number 6. $10 bettors have won over $17,000. No. Let me just back up here and get you the right number. I was going to give you $10 bettors have won over $2,700 over the past 19 days. And that's Brad Wilton. And today, you save $60 on the purchase price by using coupon code 100DIMER, 100DIMER, 100DIMER to save on his max wager release. All your other discounts, promos, etc. over on the homepage. Let's get to these games here tonight. Listen, I was on the right side giving the Hawks plus the points. I'm sorry, the Wizards plus the points against the Hawks in game number 5 in Atlanta the other night. The game that, looked like the Wizards won the game, and, well, you know what happened there at the very end. Man, oh man, it is a very difficult series because you just don't know what you're going to get from game to game from these two teams. Hawks have still not played well in the postseason. Maybe 1 or 2 games they've shown the offensive flair and the movement that made them a 60-win team during the regular season. They just don't seem to be all on the same page every single game. Jeff Teague has struggled. I mean, he had a breakout game in game number 4, but otherwise, his other 5 games and the last 6 in the postseason, he has struggled. In fact, Teague was playing so poorly when the Hawks made their big charge in game number 5. He told the coach that he wanted to stay on the bench because Dennis Schroeder was playing much better in the lineup. Listen, and you look at that Hawks win. Again, this is just a very difficult series. So the hell with the analysis of what's gotten us to this point. All that matters tonight is who's going to cover the 2.5-point number. I know I see every betting proposition is 50-50, but literally this could be a flip a coin game. However, I think the coin in my case, I'm going to side with the Wizards in this one. Once again, I'm going to side with the Wizards. Now, it is true. They've only had one home playoff loss so far this season, and that was the Hawks' 106-101 win the last time they played in Washington. I just think tonight, John Wall came back, played exceptionally well despite the injury. 7 for 16 shooting, 7 assists, 15 points, 4 steals. What hurt Washington in the last game was the turnovers, 19 of them, okay? Kyle Korver's still struggling with his shooting. 1 for 5 for 3 points, the only basket of three-pointer in the last game. The game prior to that, took only 4 shots and scored 6 points in game number 4. With Teague still struggling to get the offense going, and believe me, the Hawks are a much better team on offense when Teague is driving to the basket. That's what makes them so dangerous. I think the Washington Wizards can have a last hurrah here tonight, and I think Washington is the way to go. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. I wouldn't be surprised if, Atlanta wins the game by 9 either. I just think that this is a really weird game. If it wasn't for the fact that I used the game between the Warriors and the Grizzlies as my one of my best bets tonight, I wouldn't even touch this game. But I figured, what the hell? I'd at least try to break it down for you and give you a free selection on it. Now, your other complimentary play, I'm going to go with the Tampa Bay Rays as the slight road dog against Minnesota. Phil Hughes, the Twins have scored 15 runs in his last 2 starts. It's a damn good thing, too, because he allowed 9 runs, 19 hits, and 12 innings in those 2 starts to raise his earned run average on the season to 5.11. His ERA in 11 career starts against Tampa, 5.02. Even worse, his last 3 starts against the Rays, 0-2, ERA of 9. Twins return home after a 3-3 road trip through Cleveland and Detroit. Now, this is just their 3rd homestand of the season, and it is true they've gone 12-5 at home this season. In fact, their last homestand, they went 8-3 and scored 72 runs in those 11 games. Problem is that they haven't been hitting the ball here of late. Just 10 runs in their last 4 games after averaging over 6.5 runs in their prior 15. And in those last 4 games, they're only batting a collective 200. That's 107 points less than they had been hitting. Meanwhile, the Rays just took 3 straight in a 4-game series at home against the Yankees. They've won 15 of the last 18 meetings in the season. They've won 9 of the series, I should say, and they've won 9 of the last 10 overall in Minnesota. They've scored 4 or more runs in 7 of their last 9 games. I just like the team that's hitting the ball better and playing with a little momentum, and that is Tampa here as the slight road dog. So, Tampa Bay and the Washington Wizards are your complimentary plays. Best of luck to you guys, and I'll catch you again tomorrow when we do this again.